We have the Kichwas. Um, what's the other two tribes? We have the Kichwas. We have the Kofans and the Shuars. And
we are
it's just wonderful. And I think we are going to be. I wish we could have had the whole day and the night, because we have people traveling from long distances coming here for this evening, and they're going to be selecting their queen to represent the communities. So it's going to be a fantastic day. Maybe Myra may be able to throw a little more light. She speaks Spanish. She doesn't speak Quechua or Shuar.
No.
But
Arnie, let me interrupt for a moment. We are live. I guess Christopher or somebody may. We are live right now, so we can commence with the actual event.
And do turn your camera sideways. Your telephone sideways.
They are displaying at the moment. They listen recording.
Yeah, they're listening. Okay. We are live right now, going international.
What do you want to do?
I was just going to introduce him.
Okay, please. Voy a hacer una pequeña introducción en ese programa.
Okay, Christopher, Chris.
Yes, I'm listening. Go right ahead.
Oh, beautiful! Thank you very much. I have with me.
Can you turn?
Pardon me?
Can you turn your phone camera horizontal instead of vertical for us?
Turn the camera
sideways. The camera. The phone camera.
I think they're trying, Chris.
Yeah.
I guess he lost the signal.
Okay.
Okay. Well, it comes and goes. It comes and goes. Okay. Well, we see that they are live in the Amazon region. That is Sucumbíos province. He was the Mayra was talking. I think he was the mayor. Oh, hola Mayrita, hola, sí, ¿nos escuchan ustedes? Mayra, confirme Mayrita. Hello there.
Well, it's definitely live.
Bien, para la comunidad en español.
Are you hearing us?
Right
yes.
Now. Okay, yeah.
No le puede poner la pantalla la.
And he
we lost him.
Okay.
Para que salga mejor.
Ok, vamos a hacer lo siguiente. Llámame.
No se van las imágenes ya de Santiago. No me permite.
Bien, como ven, estamos con problemas de conexión. Right now, yes. But
we are in the Amazon region. It's impossible. The internet is very difficult. Very, very difficult.
Sucumbíos, right? That's Sucumbíos. Yeah, right now, yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, good. Beautiful.
Yes, that's the mayor. They were introducing the mayor.
I was saying earlier, this is our mayor for Cascales, and he covers a very large how many communities do they have?
Victor is there. He will translate.
Ok, el doctor Doobay está preguntándole al alcalde de Cascales, ¿cuántas comunidades hay allí?
¿Cuántas comunidades hay aquí, alcalde?
Bueno, aquí hay más de 23 comunidades. Lo que pasa es que recién están 30
There are more
comunidades de
than-
las tres nacionalidades. Shuar y Cofán. ¿Sí?
Okay.
Este es un
There
congreso
are
de
around
nacionalidades.
30 communities, 30 indigenous groups that belong to 3 different indigenous, 30 communities with 3 indigenous groups, no? So Shuar, Quichua, Shuar,
Cofán.
Cofán.
Cofán,
Cofán.
Quichua,
And Shuar.
and Shuar.
Shuar, aquí, okay, so, pero esos son los idiomas, los dialectos, o el nombre del grupo indígena.
Son las comunidades indígenas,
Ese es el
Víctor.
idioma igual.
Y el idioma
Ah,
también.
Es la comunidad
Manejan
de
los
idioma.
3 idiomas.
Okay.
Ajá, y en las
So-
escuelas estudian los 3 idiomas.
So they are, he's describing that there are 3 different communities, indigenous groups, and 3 different languages, which they speak, ¿no? The Shuar, Quichua, and repite el otro, el otro grupo, ¿cuál es? Coifán.
We are hoping to do our program very shortly, and just our part of it in relation to the projects that we are hoping to do with the folks in the Amazon region here, working together with the mayor.
Ok, el doctor menciona que el programa va a empezar en pocos minutos, en los cuales están muy emocionados por lo que se está haciendo, socializando, inclusive también la parte de Be Social, que también se va a conversar y socializar por allá. Hace un momento el doctor describía que también va a haber una elección de una reina por allá.
Ajá.
One of the beautiful things about this community is the vast majority of them are young people.
Ok, algo muy hermoso por allá de esas comunidades es que la mayoría son gente joven.
And so we want to be able to address specifically today, address the youth when it comes to social media and what Be Social can do for them. Not just the young people, but the community as a whole, putting together what MATE FCC or FCCII Canada is going to be able to do, working together for the benefit of the community, of serving the communities.
Ok, aprovechando que a la mayoría de gente joven se va a dirigir especialmente a ellos lo que se refiere al entrenamiento con redes sociales, para que aprendan pues acerca de lo que se está haciendo el trabajo y también acerca de Be Social. El trabajo que se está haciendo para beneficio, obviamente de los jóvenes, pero también de toda la comunidad. Que ellos aprendan el trabajo que la Fundación FCCI de Canadá va a hacer con ellos, ¿no? Con ellos, junto con ellos, y también pues con Be Social, con el entrenamiento que se va a dar.
Just to give you a little idea, on our way here this morning, we had to cross one of the rivers. In fact, it's the second largest river in the Amazon region. And across this river, on this side where we are, there are about 40 communities that is separated from the mainland by this river. And you're going to see the pictures that we will send. What they're depending on now, there's what we call a sling bridge that people will use to walk across, just to be able to have access on this side. And then there is a little pontoon where the vehicles will go onto the pontoon, and the pontoon take them across the river. Now, to be able to build a bridge, a spring bridge across the river, is not that expensive when you take into consideration. Sorry, Victor, I get carried away.
Ok. Bueno, el doctor está describiendo que ellos para poder ir allá al lugar donde están actualmente tuvieron que pasar por un río, el cual es el segundo río más grande de la región amazónica. Él comenta que hay un puente colgante, lo cual la gente usa pues, para cruzar el río, y los vehículos pasan a través de una gabarra, ¿no? Él habla pues que el plan también es hacer la construcción de un puente, lo cual dice no es tan caro hacerlo, pero el asunto es el acceso para la construcción. So, how difficult it is to build a bridge there, Doctor?
Well, it seems as though the government had started at one point with just the columns on one side, and they stopped. But I mean, when you take into consideration the amount of people living on this side of that river, with a bridge there, it's not that difficult to build. We will send pictures so you will get an idea.
Okay, bien, parece que el gobierno ya empezó la construcción, hay columnas levantadas, pero la obra quedó abandonada, o sea, no han terminado. Van a enviar fotos más luego para tener una idea, para ver a qué se refiere con este puente, ¿verdad? Dice que en realidad no es difícil construirlo, pero van a ver de qué manera ayudar a la comunidad para que lo tengan.
I was speaking with Al Qaeda as we stood by the bridge, and we were talking about it. When you take into consideration this expand or the span of the bridge across the river, it's just, Al Qaeda was saying to me that it's just $5 million to build that bridge so that vehicles can have access on both sides. And when I heard it, I was rather surprised because I felt that, you know, it would have cost a lot more than that.
Ok, hablando con el alcalde temprano, justamente junto al puente, el alcalde mencionaba que la obra tiene un costo de aproximadamente unos 5 millones. El doctor Doobay pensaba que quizás iba a ser más caro, ¿no? Pero considerando ese valor, dice que sí, es muy posible hacerlo. Construir el puente ayudaría mucho a toda la comunidad porque sería el medio para que los vehículos puedan cruzar sin ningún problema.
Just want to introduce to you the representative of this community. I think he's the counselor of this community where we presently are, and his name is Pedro. Mr. Pedro, and he is the representative here, which we would call the counselor of the community.
Okay, and what is the name of that community where you are right now?
¿Cuál es el nombre de la comunidad?
Es la organización de las 3 nacionalidades del Cantón Cascales. Buenos días.
Okay.
Buenos días con todos los presentes aquí. En especial quiero agradecer la presencia del doctor Doobay por la visita por la visita a la comunidad Cofán Dubulo, donde hoy las 3 nacionalidades del Cantón Cascales tenemos el Congreso de las 3 nacionalidades, y en la cual hemos invitado al doctor Doobay para que sea partícipe de este Congreso de las 3 nacionalidades, donde nos trae un proyecto muy importante, un proyecto muy emblemático para las nacionalidades de nuestro querido cantón, y esperamos y aspiramos de que esta propuesta, este proyecto que nos trae el doctor Doobay se nos cristalice dentro.
Okay, Victor.
Okay.
Translate.
Okay, bien. The doctor introduced the president of the community where they are right now. There is a congress which gathers 3 different communities, and that's where they invited doctors, so he could talk to them and present, you know, the projects and socialize what we are doing here in Ecuador. No, I mean his foundation, the FCCEI Canada, and be social. And his name is Mr. Pedro. No? Pedro. He's the president of that community over there. No? And as I said, it's a congress that gathers 3 different indigenous groups. Okay, don Pedro.
Bien, pues.
Gracias. Asimismo, queremos agradecer por el intermedio del señor alcalde del gobierno municipal del Cantón Cascales. Hemos tenido esa oportunidad de poder contactar con el doctor Doobay para que hoy en este congreso nos visite. Para nosotros es muy importante Usted tendrá conocimiento de que hoy a nivel mundial nosotros estamos sufriendo del tema del Internet. Hoy en día más que nunca nosotros como nacionalidades, este querido Cantón Cascales, necesitamos el Internet para que nuestros hijos, nuestros estudiantes de las 3 nacionalidades del Cantón Cascales tengan un buen servicio de Internet para poder educarnos, ya que la base fundamental para el ser humano es la educación, lo más importante.
Okay. Well, he's saying that he's very thankful with the mayor of Cascales City, because through him they could contact Dr. Doobay, and well, to talk about projects and how much help he could give to this community. Now he's also saying the importance of the internet in the communities, which they don't have internet access, not yet. So that's what they all want. They all want internet access. They all want the help to finish the first installing the internet, so the young people and everybody else could have the access to good education and to all the benefits that internet can bring to their communities.
Listo, muchas gracias por este espacio, por esta oportunidad que podemos nosotros hoy en día pues contactar a través de este medio de comunicación, poder enlazarnos y podernos hacer ver nuestras necesidades como nacionalidad de nuestro cantón. Esperamos de que esto muy pronto se nos cristalice y se efectivice para poder nosotros como nacionalidades tener esta oportunidad de conectarnos no solamente a nivel comunitario ni local, sino a nivel internacional y a nivel nacional. Muchas gracias.
Okay, well, he's saying that he's very thankful to everybody that has given them the opportunity to present, to show the needs that they have over there in the communities. And well, as I said before, and he also said, right, that he's looking forward to working with doctors, working with this social, working with the foundation, so they could improve their lives over there. No? So he's looking forward to working with all of us.
Víctor, tenemos aquí a un compañero que nos está de la nacionalidad COFAN. Él se va a presentar y también nos va a explicar un poquitico de qué se tratan las vestimentas de ellos en esta mañana, ¿sí? Entonces, por favor, bien pues.
Okay, well, he is a representative of the COFAN nationality, right? Which is another indigenous group in over there in the Amazon region.
Okay, bien pues.
Bueno, buenos días, Cáceres, quiere decir buenos días. Mi nombre es Octavio Lucitante, como secretario de la comunidad COFAN Dubuno.
Vamos a repetir como traducir. Bien pueda.
He is the secretary of the community COFAN over there in Sucumbíos.
Ok, bien.
Bueno,
cuéntenos un poquito de su comunidad.
Bueno, nosotros somos nacionalidad originaria de esta comunidad. Nuestros abuelos son Gregorio Quenamán, por eso todavía no botamos el traje, es propio de nacionalidad de nosotros. Por eso el territorio es propio de la comunidad cubana.
Bien pueda.
All right. His clothes, right? You see his outfit. He's saying that it belongs from his community. It's the same clothes. I mean, the kind of clothes his grandparents and the ancestors have worn in that community.
Bueno, ¿qué se alimentan? ¿Qué
bueno,
actividades hacen?
Aquí hacemos de plátano, yuca y alimentamos de sajino, mono, eso vivimos. Pero ahora cambiamos todas las
monos también.
País. Comemos sardina, arroz, pero falta recursos económicos porque hay mucho sube. Por eso así estamos.
Okay. Well, he was describing kind of like their diet over there, no? The product from agriculture. He mentioned like plantain, I'm not sure if it refers to plantain or bananas, but
Cassava.
or both. He mentioned also yuca, which I don't think is tapioca. Well, yuca is what they eat over there.
Cassava.
Cassava. And also he said mono, ¿verdad? Comen también los
Monkeys.
monitos.
Yes.
Monkeys.
Yeah.
Monkeys.
They also monkeys are part of their diets. Okay.
Continue.
Bueno, de esta comunidad tenemos 7.338 hectáreas. Es global, propio.
Es comunitario, tierras comunitarias.
They have 7,338 hectares, which is part of the community. It's community land.
¿Cuántas personas están en la comunidad?
Bueno, 38 familias, casi ahora 250 habitantes socios, con niños y adultos.
250 habitantes socios de la comunidad.
38 families, 250 people who are members of the community.
¿Qué actividades hacen? ¿Cómo trabajan? ¿De qué viven? ¿De qué se
Bueno,
sostienen?
nosotros tenemos casi la comunidad, sembramos maíz, cacao, de eso vivimos.
Okay, this is basically an agriculture community. So they grow corn, cocoa. That's what they do for a living.
¿Y qué significa el atuendo que tiene usted el día de hoy? ¿De qué se compone?
Bueno, eso es una cepa de mote para hacer la artesanía. Esos vivimos antes, mis abuelos que venden, a veces se venden.
Do you listen, Víctor?
No le escuché muy bien. Le entendí que ellos hacen esa ropa y la venden también. Eso hacen.
Sí, ellos viven de artesanías y con estas artesanías las trabajan y vienen de tradición en tradición de sus abuelos.
Okay. Well, he was saying that the clothes that he's wearing, that also, I mean, is handcrafted, you know, and they make these special clothes, and they sell, you know, and it's a tradition that they have, you know, from his ancestors.
54 años aniversarios.
Ellos ya llevan 54 años de aniversario como comunidad indígena, organizados como organización Quichua. Cofanes, como organización Cofanes.
Pero históricamente, ¿qué tiempo tienen? ¿Desde cuándo ellos están?
54 años organizados, como decir,
claro,
legales ante el gobierno,
pero
que sean vistos ante la comunidad como nombre Cofán.
Su vida, o sea, como comunidad indígena, ¿qué tiempo tienen? ¿O desde cuándo remontan su historia?
Estas comunidades indígenas vienen de años y años y años atrás, sino que cuando ya ellos se organizan como grupo, se representan con un nombre, pero son indígenas que estaban en la comunidad, en la Amazonía, sino que después se agrupan y cuando se agrupan se organizan y se ponen un nombre, y este nombre son los cofanes.
Ok, bueno, quería saber un poco de historia de ellos, pero si saben qué tiempo.
528 años de resistencia indígena tienen ellos.
Ok, perfecto. Eso quería saber. Okay, well, I was asking a little bit of history of his people. No? Now, he said that they have like 528 years as an indigenous group, you know, of fight. They say, you know, to be trying to be recognized as an indigenous group. Now, legally in the country, they have like 54 years as a group, as a legal community recognized by the government. 54 years legally, but more than 500 years, you know, of history of, well, probably much more, no? But what they're saying of fight, because you know our history of a republic is from the 1500s. So, well, no, that's discovery.
Muchísimas gracias. Ahora vamos a entrevistar nombre. Claudio Alvarado es de la comunidad.
Soy el presidente de la Organización de Pueblos Indígenas de Cantón Cascales, UPIC.
Ok. ¿Sí escuchaste?
El presidente, escuché de la comunidad indígena.
Es el presidente de la organización indígena.
De la Unión de Pueblos Indígenas
de la Unión de Pueblos Indígenas Cascales.
En siglas UPIC se le llama.
Ya las siglas.
UPIC, se llama la UPIC.
All right, he's a representative of an organization that gathers all the indigenous people. That he represents that organization.
Ok, vamos a un poquitico de qué es lo que ellos hacen, qué tradiciones tienen, qué alimentos consumen, qué cultivan y en qué actividades se encuentran en el momento.
Sí, buenos días. Mi nombre es representante.
Bien. Bien, pueda Víctor traducir.
No se le escuchó, Mayra. Se cortó el audio.
Bien, pues. Ok, ellos nos van a compartir ahorita cuál es la comunidad de ellos, qué producen.
Se fue el audio. Escuché la pregunta que hizo Mayra.
Cuentos,
la
sus tradiciones. Ok. Okay, ahora sí.
Buenos días, mi nombre es Claudio Alvarado, representante de la Organización de Pueblos Indígenas de Cantón Cascales.
Se le fue la señal, parece, Fernando. Well, she was asking. I mean, she is a representative of the indigenous groups of Cascales. Okay, so no specific indigenous group, but I guess all together, the gathering of all the indigenous communities. In Cascales, he represents that place. Mayra was asking him to tell us about what they do, what they do for a living, what they eat, and I mean all those things. But our audio is it's not good, so I cannot listen to his answers. No escucho las respuestas. El audio se le cortó justo cuando iba a contestar. No sé si me escuchan ustedes a mí.
I'm sure they'll come back on here shortly. And that area with 40 communities, are all those communities intertwined, or are they completely separated into their own, if you will, cultural?
They should be separated. Yes, I mean they are separated communities. For example, the one that was before, he was talking about 38 families, right? So that's only one of the communities of 38 families, and but then the others, of course, will have a different amount of people. But there are three different indigenous groups over there. Three groups that are identified, no? The Cofanes, the Quichua, and the Shuar.
Okay.
Okay, doctor.
Okay, doctor. We are here at the moment. Okay.
Las comunidades están ubicadas son muy amplias, por lo que en comunidades. Por ende, las comunidades pobladas de ellos una buena la educación de que los lleguen internet para que los estudiantes puedan tener esa ayuda. Necesitaríamos como comunidad quichua, porque es bastante extenso el terreno de la comunidad
Okay, well, what I could get from what he was saying is that they also need, they need internet. That's what he was saying that they really need, and he belongs to the Quichua community. He was talking about, I mean, what the Quichua group is, I mean, do or is about, no? But he was basically telling the need for the young people of the internet access. Amigo, lo primero que usted habló no se le escuchó nada, el audio se está cortando. Lo que sí entendí es que hablaba de la necesidad del internet para los jóvenes en la comunidad quichua. Fue lo que pude escuchar. No sé si al final puede repetir lo primero.
Sí, en la estación, lo que los jóvenes en este tiempo de la pandemia, de la señal de la comunicación también es difícil en estos lugares. Eso sería un pedido de si usted tiene un proyecto, ya sea, diría yo, como National Quichua para los jóvenes de la National Quichua en estas comunidades.
Okay. He reinforced the idea of communication. As we can see, that's a problem over there, right? Because there is no signal, internet or telephone signal that makes communication really difficult. That's something that they need, and they are asking that if there is a project regarding to communication, I mean they really appreciate it because that's something they need. Also for the students, for the young people, but communication is something very important that I mean needs to be fixed. And he's hoping, looking forward to projects regarding to communication over there to help that community. Okay. ¿Cuántos son allá en el grupo de Quichua? ¿Cuántas familias o cuántas personas?
¿Cuántas familias tienen los quichuas?
Sí, son 9 comunidades. Dentro de las habremos solamente en el cantón Cascales.
Solo en el cantón Cascales, Víctor.
Ok, escuché 9 comunidades. Fue lo que entendí.
19 comunidades.
Okay, well, only in the Cascales area, only that area, he was talking about 9 communities, and he was describing also, the amount of people, but communication, internet is a problem right now over there. Okay, la señal se les va y se les viene, la señal está. Okay. No se escucha, no se entiende lo que están hablando, por si acaso.
19 del cantón Cascales, de la provincia de son 4.000 personas, habitantes.
¿4.000 habitantes en Cascales o 4.000 habitantes quichuas en Cascales?
4.000 quichuas.
Ah, 4.000 quichuas. Okay. There are 4,000 indigenous people from the Quichua community in Cascales. Just Cascales. No, that's he's talking about.
Only Quichuas.
Only Quichuas. Mm-hmm.
Only.
Yes.
Okay, that's a lot of people. Only Cascales.
Yes. Only in one canton. Only in one
canton.
No in the country.
Mm-hmm.
Only in this country. Un 40% a nivel nacional, más o menos, unos 40% de quichuas.
A nivel nacional, el 40% del país son quichuas.
Okay, well, he's saying that like 40% of people, pero 40% de la población ecuatoriana.
Sí.
¿Eso dice?
De la. They are Quichua. In the country.
According to his statistics, 40% of people of Ecuador belong to the Quichua community. That's a lot.
Yeah. It's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Gracias.
I'm not surprised because I have seen that everywhere we went, we are meeting with Kichwas. Everywhere. So I'm not surprised that the percentage is that high.
Yes.
Ah, ok, ok. Bueno, el doctor no se sorprende que el porcentaje sea tan alto de la población quichua en el país, porque donde sea que él va, siempre hay personas que pertenecen a este grupo quichua.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Sí, un agradecimiento a todos ustedes para que vayan conociendo de la población quichua de aquí de Cascales. Un agradecimiento a cada uno de ustedes por este evento que han realizado en beneficio para todas las nacionalidades aquí del Cantón Cascales. Muchas gracias.
Gracias.
Okay, well,
So we are very. No, we have a rose among the thorns. So.
Bueno, el día
hay una rosa en medio de espinas.
Sí, que
she has a biblical name.
Es un nombre bíblico, Ruth. Ok, les presentamos a Ruth. Ruth es la representante de la CONAIE, una de las organizaciones más grandes de este país. Para mí es un honor, Ruth, recibirla en esta mañana en nuestro canal de Be Social. Nos están viendo desde 14 países a nivel mundial y nos encantaría que nos presentara tu comunidad, qué hacen, qué tradiciones tienen, qué necesidades tienen las comunidades y también nos muestres un poquito de qué se trata tu comunidad.
Okay, well, she is a representative of CONAIE. CONAIE is an organization that gathers thousands of indigenous people in the country, and she is a representative of this group. Okay, Doña Ruth, bienvenida.
Saludos desde la Amazonía de Ecuador. Soy Ruth Peñafiel, ex dirigente de la CONAIE de la Mujer y Familia, pero también soy parte de la red de mujeres sobre biodiversidad para América Latina y el Caribe. Entonces nosotros como Ecuador estamos integrados por el 65% de toda la población, somos de nacionalidades y pueblos. Aquí contamos con 14 nacionalidades y 18 pueblos.
Okay, she said that 65% of the population of Ecuador belong to different groups of indigenous people, 65%. And there are 14 different nationalities, talking about indigenous nationalities, and 18 peoples, indigenous peoples, 14 different nationalities and 18 peoples. 65% of the Ecuador population belong to or are indigenous people. She represents, like I said, CONAIE, but she's also involved in the area of family and women. Also, the CONAIE is not only national, it's international in South America. So he also has contacts or represents this group that are in other countries. Okay, gracias, siga. ¿Sí?
Bueno, es importante manifestar que las nacionalidades y pueblos del Ecuador venimos trabajando primero por el tema de que no se expanda el tema petrolero y minero en el país, porque todos los territorios donde nosotros habitamos cuentan con esa riqueza natural, pero que también nos afecta a todas y todos. Eso que las mujeres venimos trabajando por preservar la biodiversidad, por mejorar las condiciones de vida de nuestras familias, para que la agricultura sea limpia, para que nuestras familias puedan contar con recursos económicos para poder darle educación a nuestros hijos, para conservar, preservar nuestros conocimientos y saberes ancestrales, porque también necesitamos estar inmersos en la tecnología.
Vamos, Víctor.
Okay. Well, she was saying that in the areas where there are indigenous people, they also have petroleum, oil and mining. But this group of people, especially the women group, they are working really hard. So this do not spread that much because that will affect the nature. No, they say that the nature there is very rich, and they work to protect the biodiversity that they have, all the resources. Also, she said that they are working to keep, not to lose their ancestral knowledge, even though they recognize that modern technology is important. Okay, so they are working hard in all these areas, no? Preserve the environment, protect the nature, biodiversity, keep or that their ancestral knowledge prevails, but also that technology, learn about new technologies. Okay.
También es importante informarles a ustedes que las nacionalidades y pueblos del Ecuador y de las Américas, de la Via Yala, decimos nosotros, somos agricultores, pero también necesitamos que nos apoyen para que nuestros emprendimientos puedan tener mercado y que podamos tener ingresos económicos, pero que también esto, el marketing pueda ser publicitado a través de la página de Facebook. Nosotros no tenemos Facebook como página institucional para poder hacer todo este vínculo de interrelación. También nos gustaría que nos puedan ayudar con una escuela online para aprender el inglés. También necesitamos que ustedes nos puedan ayudar a poder diseñar nuestra página web y que este proceso de intercomunicación de redes comerciales permitirá que podamos salir poco a poco de la pobreza.
Okay.
Víctor, mucho trabajo, Víctor.
Okay. Well, she's saying that, like the organization is, like I said, it's not just Ecuador. No, it belongs to the Americas, and that basically they work in agriculture, but they have or they are willing to work in any kind of projects that could help the community to have income. Yeah, they need to build an interrelationship with with you guys in abroad. I mean, and other communities, other peoples here in America. She's saying that what they need, they don't have a website. They don't have their own market page to work marketing. They need online schools. I mean, and well, there are things that are not difficult to make, in fact. And but well, I mean, those are things that they feel they need, probably because they don't have the knowledge or they don't have somebody to support, to give them ideas about that. But it's something that they feel are important, no? Like I said before, they are concerned about new technologies and they want to learn, and that's what she's saying. Mayrita, Doña Ruth, pero hacer una página web, hacer un fanpage, trabajar en marketing digital, eso no es nada complicado. Quizás necesitan si alguien del equipo, del grupo, de hecho hasta yo mismo podría en esa parte asesorarlos.
Pero no tenemos eso. No tenemos. Tranquila, vamos a quedar en contacto con ella y te ponemos en contacto contigo para que les colaboremos con eso, que no es tan difícil. Les vamos a ayudar.
Se puede asesorar, así es, se puede asesorar en eso y no es complicado. Pero obviamente el internet es importante para poder hacer todo eso. Yeah, internet is the challenge because they don't have internet.
Que nos permitan hacer un intercambio de experiencias, ¿sí? Para que nuestros jóvenes, nuestras mujeres puedan ir a conocer allá en los países desarrollados, emprendimientos, y que también podemos exponer cómo es nuestra forma de vida, que nos conozcan, y que este proceso también nos permita incidir ante la COP27 que vendrá después por el tema del cambio climático, por el tema de biodiversidad, el de incidir en la ONU, hacer una visita al Banco Mundial, al Fondo Monetario, para que se pueda dar cursos para atender específicamente a comunidades indígenas encontradas en zona de y dos las más vulnerables.
Okay. I lost the last part, but what she was suggesting, I mean, it's something that they would like to do, if it's possible, is to make an exchange program. So young people from their community can travel to, developed countries, and vice versa. No? So they could come here and learn about our situation here. She's saying also that, I mean, they would love to have the chance to exhibit what they do in other countries, like because they have projects, or they are also entrepreneurs. So it would be nice for them to exhibit, like you said, their projects, what they do there. She mentioned also the International Bank, and she mentioned also the NATO, I think, in English. And well, but basically, so people know what indigenous groups do, and what they and how important the communities are in the country and in the world. She also mentioned an environmental congress that is going to happen very soon, and but they are involved in all of these things. Okay. No lo escucho, no hay audio. Yes, the internet is making this difficult. But okay, this lady, Doña Ruth, she represents CONAIE, which is an international and local, also indigenous organization. She talks about the nationalities and peoples, indigenous peoples, that are working in order to help their groups. Yeah, Mayra was telling her that we can be in touch, so we can give them some support regarding to websites and social media, and probably online schools, no? Oh, she said that they want to learn English too. So I was listening to that. I said, yes, I can teach them. But okay. Like I said, I mean, they need and they want to learn, and that's a good thing. No? They are not that close groups anymore. In the past, we never heard about the indigenous groups. Right now, they are opening themselves, and they are letting the world know of them. And if they want to learn about technology, they want to learn about, they want to learn languages, they want to be in touch with people in other countries, and that is good, and Dr. Doobay also, I mean, he's been socializing about the social, so they are getting excited about all the information, the things that they can learn to be sustainable. So I mean, that's a good thing. That's a really good thing.
Victor, in a multicultural situation like that, do you find your normal conflicts between cultures that happen?
Well, let me tell you that not now, and well, there are two things to consider. Because of COVID, we've been locked, right? So communities have been like inside their own places, their own cities, and through internet they are trying to open themselves. But for these people, that's hard because, as you see, there is no internet there, and they don't know about it. I mean, she's asking for help with something that is really easy to do. You see, making a website, having their own Facebook. I mean, marketing. That's not hard. But yeah, I mean, so talking about multicultural here, we've seen this a lot. I mean, we know that Ecuador has a lot of indigenous people, but in the past there was kind of like some discrimination. I mean, because where I'm from Costa, I'm from the coastal line, and there was kind of like a division. Oh yeah, the coastal people, the Sierra, the highlands people, the indigenous people. But right now that is, I mean, it's not a problem anymore here. We understand things much better. They have opened themselves, because like I said in the past, I mean, we saw this group of people, but not like now. And in Ecuador, the indigenous people are a big force. I mean, they can change governments. I mean, when they decide to fight, you have to be afraid. Yeah, believe me. So they are so powerful, but even though so respectful of others, and that's something to admire from them. Basically because I don't know, they haven't had the opportunities. Check that out. They live where oil is, mines are, but even though some communities are poor, you see, so the richest are there, but they don't live from those riches. You see, other people, here in my city and I mean in other provinces, they take advantage of all the economy, all the money, but the money doesn't go there. And what's worse, the nature is being damaged because of this extraction process and mining and these things. So that's what they are fighting a lot now, to revert those things. So it could be more fairness in the distribution of the benefits, profits of the resources that are extracted from their land, because that is their land.
Is that even possible to come from the government taking a little bit more control, or is the government the reason that they don't have the money being passed down to the community?
Well, yeah, I mean, these political issues. I mean, Ecuador has had a problem with politicians, governments for decades. There was a government who tried, to revert things. But even though it's difficult to talk about politics, because some people will say no, that they are against or they're in favor, and but they were the ones who live there. They are the ones who know the situation. And I don't know if you heard the news about some fights against some powerful oil companies here in Ecuador. That they sue the country sue them, and they win. They lost, and we have to pay. So it's really difficult. So people say it's just propaganda, political propaganda for the government. But well, how communication works. And we, that the ones that only watch the television or listen to the news, we don't know the entire truth about all these things. And so I think that it's really important for them to have internet so they could share the reality of the people from their own, from the very place where they can see the things, how they are going on.
Sure. Tony, I know that you probably got some opinions on this. Why don't you pop in and ask what you would like, my friend?
Victor, earlier on you said you mentioned about hectares, and it's just so people know that you were saying how many hectares they were actually farming. And for some people that don't know what a hectare is, it's about just under 2.5 acres as we know it for 1 hectare. So when they farm, what kind of equipment do they use for farming? Do they use regular kind of tractors? And the clothing that they produce, where do they get, how do they produce their clothing, and where do they sell it, and how do they sell it? So kind of a two-part question.
As far as I know, well, these areas are really far away from where I am. But I know that lots of these people they are artisans, so they work the land and they work the clothing by themselves by hand. They do have their tools. I don't think that they have tractors to work the land. Not like here in the coastal line where I am right now. So basically, it's artisan work. That's what I believe from those areas. And their clothing, yeah, like it's like they mentioned, they make things by hand. That's their tradition, the tradition that they've been doing for years.
Like the clothing, who do they sell it to? The local people, the people in the village, or because one of our viewers, Sean Crawford, she was asking, how does somebody in the Western world, for example, where or any other part of the world, be able to attain some of these clothings to either, well, number one, to have something that's handmade, and number two, to also maybe help support their efforts. How would somebody do that? How would they get that?
I, I couldn't listen your second question. Okay.
How would they be able to get some of these clothes? How do they sell them? Are they do they sell them locally, or is there a way that they could get them to other places in the world, like to the bees
Okay.
community?
Well, I believe that they want also the internet or the website is for those things, for their entrepreneurship. Uh, in the Amazon region and the highlands here, it's called Sierra, they have like open markets where indigenous people they go and sell their products. In the highlands, it's very common to see those markets in every town. Even here in the coast, there are really small areas where they come and sell. But they come from the Sierra. They come from those areas. I mean, if you come to Ecuador and you want to buy these handcrafts, you should go to Sierra Amazon and then you buy those things directly from them, from the source.
Right.
If they sell it, if they sell to other places, I mean, there are a few companies, a few group of people that have gathered so they can export, but very few, very few. I don't know the names of the companies. I mean, I can't tell you. Probably on the internet there should be, because people with money have been able to make the investment, to take advantage of this, because we know, I mean, these things are beautiful. A lot of people in other countries would buy those. There was a government that also promoted this handcraft and artisan work in festivals, in congresses, in other countries. But that is not made anymore. I mean, as far as I know, I mean, they stopped doing that. And a lot of people, kind of like we're attracted with our handcraft, and they are beautiful. And but they need internet. I mean, they need a website so they could do it by themselves. I know if you are business people, and you have the capital, you have the money. I mean, I would buy them cheap and sell them expensive, because that's what people do. But if you want to help them directly, it would be great, to visit them to their local shops, because they have like stands, in open markets, and there are a lot. I mean, in all the Sierra region, well, not all the Amazon. I mean, I haven't been to the Amazon. I mean, not completely, just a couple of cities over there. But there are. I mean, because that's the source. I mean, even in the communities, there are like guided tours in tours in the communities, and the tourists can have experience of living with them for a whole day. Even shoot an arrow, or I don't know, darts. You know,
Right.
they make people to share that experience. Even drink their chicha, which is a traditional drink, and well, so but that is not like something big. People who tourists who want to travel there and have the experience go, but not as many as I think they would like,
Of
people to
course.
go. And with COVID, of course, things were much
Sure.
worse. Mhm.
So, Victor, you said about the land and the oil and the wells there. So, who owns the land that they are on? Do the people there, or is it government owned? I mean, why can't they use some of the resources that are around them? What is the problem, or what is the challenges with that?
Well, that's a very good question. I we want the answers too. Of course, that will be the government. Government, is the one who controls everything. I don't know right now. The things that political situations here are, kind of difficult to understand, because um, probably if I say something, I will sound like, oh, he's a supporter of a politician, or if I say something against, oh, he's and I don't want
Understand.
to sound
Yeah.
in favor of anybody here.
Sure. Sure.
But no, for example, I mean, the way you see it, why the owners of the land cannot have benefits like the ones who are extracting? I mean, it would be the logical, fair thing to do, but that hasn't happened. Why? Governments, politicians, uh, business people. I mean, I really don't know. We don't understand that either. Yeah, and I mean, if you check, big suits, legal trouble, litigations between government and oil companies, that's in Ecuador, and they are
Right.
still fighting, right? Because a government started the fight, but then the government kind of like won, but then lost. So I mean, we don't know. I mean, where to stand on this situation. I mean, was the government lying, or the people are lying? Um, but what we know is that the natural resources are being affected. This lady, she just said, I mean, they don't want this to spread that much. They don't want that to expand this mining and this oil excavation. Because they know it, that's affecting the land. So she just said that.
Yeah.
So that we can have our own opinions
Sure.
about
Sure.
it.
Do you remember how many hectares they said they were farming there? I didn't remember the number. I didn't.
Yes, he mentioned 7,338 hectares.
Wow. So
But
that's
but
that's
that
quite a
it is
bit.
a lot. Yeah, it is a lot. But that belongs only to 38 families. So that is the Cofanes. I mean, that was only for one of the indigenous groups, no? The Cofanes in that area, which is
Yeah.
Cascales, which is in the Sucumbíos province.
That's a
Mhm.
lot and a lot of. I mean, that's like 18,000 acres or something. So, in order to farm that and not have equipment, that's amazing. That they do that, especially with just a small amount of community. The number that you said was in the community wasn't a big number.
250 people.
That's
Yeah, exactly.
it would take 250 people just to manage a quarter of that acreage. So wow, and it's very rich land too, right? They grow
Yeah, it is. It is.
they grow coffee beans as well there.
I think they do over there. I mean, they mention corn, they mention plantains, cacao. Um,
They said coca. Is
I
that
know that over there.
coffee or is it chocolate?
Well, I don't know. I mean, cocoa or cacao, because I always confuse
Yeah,
where I mean where where chocolate is made of. The beans from the cocoa or cacao. They extract then the chocolate.
right. Well,
Yeah.
I use both of them, so I don't know. I like the chocolate and the coffee, so
Yeah.
uh,
Okay. Let me translate. Okay.
okay.
Let me translate a little bit. Ok, bien, Tony me está haciendo unas preguntas con respecto a los pueblos de allá. Él me preguntaba acerca de la situación de la extracción de petróleo, porque eso es algo que me comentó doña Ruth, ¿verdad? Me preguntaba acerca de mi punto de vista, a ver, ¿cómo es eso de que quienes viven allí en ese lugar no se benefician de la extracción de los recursos, ¿verdad? Porque doña Ruth decía que el trabajo que ellos están haciendo en parte es detener la expansión de esto, de la minería y del petróleo, para proteger el medio ambiente. Entonces, bueno, yo decía que esto más bien ha sido algo político, ¿verdad? Cuestiones de los gobiernos. Trato de no dar mi opinión personal al respecto para no sonar que estoy a favor o en contra de algún personaje político. Pero creo que es algo que se pueden ver a simple vista quiénes son los culpables, ¿no? Pues le decía, bueno, ¿quiénes son los dueños de la tierra? Pues donde está el petróleo. Y eso es el gobierno. El gobierno es quien hace la extracción, quien hace los contratos, quien hace los convenios, y nosotros vemos quiénes se benefician de eso. O sea, Una gran falla que hay allá, pues es que no hay internet, no hay comunicación. Entonces uno no sabe de la fuente en qué es lo que está pasando. Uno escucha solamente las noticias y lo que ellos nos dicen a nosotros. Entonces como que la información no se sabe exactamente a quién creer. O sea, miente el gobierno, miente la gente, mienten ellos, ¿cómo es el asunto? Hay peleas legales del gobierno contra compañías petroleras. El gobierno ganó, el gobierno peleó. Bueno, uno no sabe mismo cómo es todo esto, ¿verdad? Entonces, por eso la comunicación es súper importante, el internet hace falta en estos lugares, y sin dar una opinión propia, pues digo, es fácil sacar un punto de vista. Si nos están diciendo que ellos quieren detener la extracción, si nos están diciendo que no, no hay beneficios al respecto, pues bueno, o uno puede ver eso. Me preguntaba, por ejemplo, también cómo ellos trabajan la tierra. Le preguntaba cuántas hectáreas habían repito las hectáreas, que son 7.000 y pico de hectáreas en la parte de los cofanes, pues solamente 250 personas. Entonces, muy pocas personas para gran cantidad de tierra. Yo no sé en realidad si ellos trabajan con maquinaria, tienen tractores y todo eso, o todo es artesanal. Por lo que le escuché que comentaba el otro representante, que muchas cosas son, o lo que el trabajo de ellos es artesanal. Entonces, yo creo que no trabajan o no tienen maquinarias grandes como para trabajar la tierra. Es lo que yo creo. O sea, eso habría que preguntarle allí a Mayra, que le pregunte a ellos, apenas haya otra vez la señal. Pero, o sea, es difícil de comprender eso, ¿verdad? O sea, cómo tan pocas personas pueden trabajar tanta tierra y sin la maquinaria adecuada para hacerlo. Ok. Okay, Tony. I guess they are coming back, no?
We got caught up. Sorry, we went on too long without translating. Sorry about that.
Okay. That's okay.
We'll try not to let that happen again. But also, another valuable member of our team, Rick Scherer, I know with his background, he may even want to build a website just to sell material. But Rick, what say you, my friend?
Well, first thing I'd like to do is go down to the Amazon and help build the infrastructure for web access.
Yeah.
We've had some people ask some questions. What is it that we can do to help this situation? Is it the government that's putting in internet access? Is it up to the villages themselves? I mean, what's the process and potential timeline for that to happen?
Ok, Enrique está preguntando o está comentando que hay mucha gente que estaría interesada inclusive en ayudar. O sea, él mismo decía, bueno, lo primero que le haría es ayudar con puntos de internet, el acceso a internet. En lo que es la configuración de las páginas web. O sea, yo mismo le decía, yo puedo también dar asesoría a eso, o sea, con lo que es página web. Ahora, Rick pregunta, ¿quién es el encargado de eso? ¿Quién es el encargado de poner el acceso a internet a las comunidades, a los pueblos, a las ciudades? As far as I know, this is something private. I mean, if you want the internet, you have to hire it. If you want, a phone line, you need to hire it. The government has, there is a public company that can provide internet. The problem is that they don't have enough antennas to do the job in the whole country. So they hire private antennas. But even though these private antennas are not everywhere, so when communities want internet, they need to find the provider by themselves. In this area, Shishufindi, I think, is one example. Do you remember, like in a honey time 2 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago, I think, that the same mayor, Cascales, was interviewed. There was also another group of people who they gathered and they hired the antenna by themselves. So they could have internet in their backyard and not walking or hitchhike for 4 hours to mine opes.
Right.
They did it by themselves. They just gather and do it. In Cascales, the mayor is the one who is promoting or trying to make all the setting up of the internet for these communities. They are working on that, but that's the mayor of this community. in other cities, the mayors are the ones that have put free access to internet, open Wi-Fi for the people, but with a time limit. So you just only connect for 30 minutes or 60 minutes per day, and that's it. Um, but but uh, uh, but that's not enough.
Well, I see that potentially as something for everyone to really look into and to see what it is, as the community that we're all involved with grows. What is it that we can start to think about, to get internet access, to these large groups that are growing in Latin America, South America, that want to be part of the bees community, want to mine us on their mobile phones, and as well be able to broadcast to the world what they're doing. So I think we really need to somehow focus on what energies that we can use, to help facilitate that.
Your questions are perfect. Now I want you to continue, but I want Victor to translate just for a moment.
Okay, yes. Yeah. Lo que Rick decía, pues que ellos como comunidad B-Social le gustaría saber, o sea, de qué modo también ellos pudieran colaborar, cómo poder dar ese acceso de Internet a las comunidades. Así que las personas puedan tener su Internet para minar OPEs, inclusive hasta para transmitir en vivo lo que está ocurriendo en sus comunidades. ¿Sí? Es algo que ellos les gustaría ver, analizar, pensar, no sé, reunirse para poder ver esta situación. Yo sé que el doctor Doobay tiene también pensado al respecto, y en otros países que él ha estado, él ha trabajado con estas situaciones de Internet, y él sí me ha conversado al respecto que él sabría cómo hacerlo, ¿no? Voy a decirlo esto a Rick. I know that Dr. Doobay has had, similar situations in other countries with no internet access. So he's had some experience on this. I mean, I've asked him, and he has told me that it is in his plans also to provide the tools for the internet. But that is not easy to do, because that requires a lot of funding. No, I don't know you guys. I mean, how would you help with that?
Not sure I have the answer, but I think it's something that we might explore, and I don't know, maybe find a solution. I can't speak for the entire group, but I definitely think this is a subject and focus area that in some way in the near future, we may be able to assist. Don't know how, but I think that might be a good possibility.
Yeah. Thank you. Bueno, le preguntaba acá de qué manera ellos como grupo pudieran ayudar al respecto, ¿no? Él dice que es algo que sí lo considera, que sí es importante brindar esa ayuda. No sabe cómo exactamente, pero sí es algo que podrían discutir en el grupo de ellos, pues en el grupo de inversores de B-Social, y discutirlo, ¿no? Conversarlo y ver cómo ayudar. No se sabe cómo exactamente, pero sí es algo que lo están pensando. Y más que todo, con lo que acaban de ver, ¿verdad? La transmisión, cómo se cortaba, ellos saben que es importante. Y si saben que nosotros estamos minando OPEs y estamos trabajando inclusive con B-Social, pues como que quieren ayudarnos más al respecto, ¿no?
Rick, there was early on a discussion about not only assisting in setting up cell service, but actually providing phones to people. This is early, probably March that we were talking about this. Do you remember that?
Oh, I do, and I actually not only remember that, but I don't know if the South America bees have actually seen our new
NFT
website.
Yeah, I saw that. Yes.
On the website, and you do know that we are releasing some NFT tokens of bees.
Yes.
And written into
benefits,
the plan and the benefit
it
is that
10%.
On secondary sales, 10% of those sale royalties are going to be used to help, countries that are in need of mobile phones, and I'm hoping that could include the mobile services as well. So that is something that the bees community is committed to doing and helping.
Yes, yes, let me translate that. Ajá. Algo que ellos sí han estado conversando, ¿verdad? Como les digo, o sea, ellos ya lo han pensado, ya han estado en discusiones al respecto, en conversaciones al respecto, pero algo que ya es como un hecho, una decisión que han tomado, es que sí van a proveer de celulares, ¿verdad? En la página web que está desarrollada, creo que es socialbiz.io, socialbiz.io, that's the website, socialbiz.io, allí están en los listados de los beneficios, en lo que se refiere a lo que es los NFTs que van a ser lanzados. Uno de los beneficios que ellos presentan en la página es que del 10% de las ventas secundarias, de las regalías que haya de los productos de la página web, de los NFTs, ellos van a proveer de celulares a las comunidades, países donde más necesiten. ¿Para qué? Para que puedan también tener un aprendizaje online en cripto y en todo, pues, ¿no? Eso está en la página web. Si no han revisado, ahí está la página web, socialbiz.io, de socialbiz.io, en los beneficios de los NFTs. Ajá, ahí está mostrando la página. Yeah, ajá. Yeah, we checked those benefits in group in Discord on Thursday that it was launched.
Very impressive.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, do you think Dr. Doobay is going to be returning, or is the internet gone for good at this point in time?
I don't know. Fernando's telling me that the signal is really low, really low. Fernando is the one with the camera.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, okay. He says the signal is low, so that's what he's saying. Just that.
Well, we were hoping that it would come back on, but here we have Tony back and so forth. Tony, what other questions do you have, sir?
First of all, Victor, thank you so much for setting this up and getting it all planned out. And I know there's so much work that a lot of us don't even fathom how difficult, outside of having an internet connection issue, there's a lot that you do. So thank you for helping us all to look as good as we do, because without your participation, we certainly couldn't do this. But if you can translate that in Spanish too, I'd appreciate it.
Okay, well, Tony dice que está agradecido por el trabajo que estamos haciendo. Debo aclararle que no soy yo quien estoy organizando todo esto, ¿verdad? El trabajo de equipo. It's not just me. This is a team effort. I'm just doing my little part out of this. Yo no hago mi pequeña parte, pero sí, está agradecido pues que al menos se pudo transmitir, se puede trabajar y compartir las ideas de lo que está ocurriendo, ¿verdad? The team, Fernando Pascual is the one in charge of the audio visuals, camera, videos, and photographs. The videos are on YouTube, are the ones that he some of them he filmed, he recorded, he edited. And Mayra is basically the one who's also moving things with Doctor. They are the ones who are in the field, working hard, giving the face to the communities and socializing. I'm just doing my part. Like I told you, right now, for example, I am in Vinces. I am not in my studio. I'm not in my office. I am in another province. I just traveled 3 hours to be here on time for this streaming, because I knew that I was not being able to be home. So I prefer to travel really early to be here with you guys and help people be informed about these things.
Well, Victor, I'm sorry, but Thursday night you did a wonderful job as well. We really appreciated what you did for us on Thursday. So it's just, I hope this continues to be an ongoing relationship, because our ability to work together is growing smoother all the time. So we really, truly, all three of us appreciate you as being part of our team in South America.
Absolutely.
Sure. I mean, I'm in for you. As I'm in charge of the website, besocialespañol.com and social media. I mean, I'm trying to do my best so everybody can be informed and updated about the things. And if you really consider me part of the team, then help me and give me more information as soon as possible. You get it, so I can post and share to the people here. Basically, most of the people here in Ecuador that are on Discord are people that belongs to projects with Dr. Dubay. Most of the people, I guess I told you Thursday, or in the chat, I think, that the doctor came to Ecuador, he brought Be Social to Ecuador, right? And because of him, we know all of you guys, we know all the work. Probably not from the very beginning with all the things we do know now. I'm in charge of the social media just in 1 month and a half, I think, or maybe 2 months. And since then we're trying to spread all the knowledge in all the people, no. But Be Social came to Ecuador at the beginning of the year, I think. And so little at least we know Opes from that time. And but now we can see that, wow, I mean, this is not just Opes, this is huge. And now with the NFTs, I mean, things are getting bigger and bigger. And yeah, I mean, information is important. So if you can share anything, everything with me, so I can also spread the word here, I really appreciate. And I will be happy to help you wherever, whenever I can. Even with the Spanish, I'm giving Spanish lessons to you guys too. I don't know if you've seen the videos.
I don't know
Check
if I,
the
I don't know
videos.
if I understand a word of it, but I keep listening. I keep my ear up
Check the
along the
videos
way. You know,
on our
I'm
YouTube
sorry
channel.
that we could not complete. Yeah, we'll try. We'll keep trying. I'm sorry we couldn't complete the celebration that Dr. Arnie had going on, but as we all know, and Rick has pointed out, they should have internet, and then we wouldn't have trouble doing that, would we, Rick? Right?
Exactly. Let me translate
So,
everything I said and what you said. Bueno, ellos aparte lamentan el hecho de que no se puede seguir con la transmisión, ¿verdad? Por problemas técnicos con la internet. Y como ya dijo Rick, pues internet es algo que hace falta aquí y es lo primero que tenemos que ayudar, ¿verdad? Con el internet. Christopher agradecía el trabajo que estamos haciendo nosotros. Yo decía que en nuestro equipo, ¿verdad? Está Fernando con las cámaras, la parte audiovisual, quien se carga de fotos y videos. De mi parte, que es la página web, redes sociales, que tengo casi 2 meses, mes y medio a cargo de eso, y he tratado de pasar la voz, que Visosa sea conocida, ¿verdad? El doctor Dubey trajo Visosa al Ecuador a principios de año. Trajo Opes, ¿verdad? Que es lo que más se hablaba, y no sabemos más que de Social hasta ahora, que sabemos que esto es inmenso, súper grande, ahora con los NFTs, y sabemos que esto va a ser más y más grande. Entonces, el trabajo que se va a hacer, pues, va a ser en equipo, es lo que él decía, pues, que trabajamos en equipo, acá mi persona está dispuesta a ayudarlos a ellos en todo lo que se pueda, y ellos también están dispuestos a colaborar con nosotros en todo lo que ellos puedan, ¿no? Ese es el trabajo de equipo. Ese es el team effort, teamwork.
teamwork is right.
My Spanish is limited as well, but I can say muchas gracias.
Yes, and in the process, you're right. It is a team effort, and the team that we have here on the Swarm, with Rick and Tony and myself, we consider it a team effort, and we work hard at what we do. We want to make sure that we bring important information to the bees community, because it is an educational community as well. But as we close out, Victor, I'm going to ask you to do the honors and close out the program in Spanish.
Okay, all right. Bien, él decía que sí, es un esfuerzo de equipo, ¿verdad? Right now, we're closing right now, yeah?
Yes.
Ok, bien. Bueno, todos los que nos están viendo en este momento, gracias por su atención. Estamos por terminar el programa de hoy día. No olviden suscribirse al canal de B-Social TV. Suscríbanse, denle clic a la campanita para las notificaciones. Compartan los videos de B-Social. Recuerden que esta es una comunidad educativa sobre todo. Estamos educando a las personas en general. Y gracias por su atención. Y nos veremos en una próxima transmisión. Gracias a todos y hasta la vista, babies.
Gracias.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Hasta la vista.
Thanks for joining us for this episode of the Swarm Unplugged podcast. Be sure to hit the follow button and leave us a glowing comment. Gravitate yourself to be on the podcast so you are the next one to introduce themselves to the B Social community. See you on the next episode.